All Progressives Congress reels out midterm successes to total growth, transformation and prosperity of renewed hope agenda. Turn around the company for optimal efficiency and greater results for Nigeria, President Tinubu tasked NNPCL board. Vice President Shatima woos investors, cites improved fiscal landscape and stabilized currency regime as good indicators. A warm welcome to NTA Network News. I am Jumai Yusuf. Benny Adams is here with the news from the world of business, and on trending news from the world of sports, Francisca Bele is our guide. Thanks for joining us. Now, the House of Representatives recently passed for second reading a bill that will make voting in general elections compulsory for all Nigerians. The proponents of the bill say it is to further enhance democracy and address voter apathy being experienced during elections. On NTA Survey tonight, we're asking, what do you think of the proposal by the House of Representatives for compulsory voting in general elections? Do you strongly support it to strengthen democracy? Should it be compulsory for a particular set of people? Should it remain a personal choice and not a legal obligation? Or you are undecided and need more time for information to decide? Let's hear your voice as you vote in tonight's poll. Scan the QR code on your screen, make your pick, and stay tuned for the result of the survey at the end of tonight's bulletin. Now, the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not just a template for 4 years' journey, but a practical document that envisioned the future with convincing realities for total growth, transformation and prosperity of Nigeria. This is why the Progressive family converge on the State House to present a midterm assessment of the journey so far, as in key priority areas of government, with a strong appeal for continuity of the renewed hope agenda beyond 2027. Political correspondent Abubakar Akwanga tells us more.
This is an assemblage of high-profile personalities across various fields of human endeavor, experts and party stalwarts on the platform of the governing All Progressives Congress, APC. And the mandate here is tied to the renewed hope agenda under the Tinubu's presidency within the period under review. And beyond politics is the renewed hope for infrastructure, sound fiscal policy, healthcare delivery, digital economy, effective policy coordination, and improved national security as evidence of a possible new Nigeria.
Your Excellency, another flagship project that is driving regional integration is the Kano-Kaduna Standard Gauge Railway. This vital corridor is a key component of the Lagos-Kano Railway Modernization Plan, and it is being delivered as a priority project of the Tinubu administration to deliver dividends of democracy to our people.
We also have completed 10 kilometers of the famous Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway in the first section from Bello and then going towards Eleko Junction. 20 kilometers is completed by 6 lanes, and it is there for commissioning, Mr. President, and 10 kilometers has been completed at the section of 37.47 going to the end of the first section, which is 47.47.
Before renewed hope, the security situation before May 29, 2023 was there, threatening the cohesion, stability and integrity of the Nigerian state. High-profile attacks, widespread displacement and mass casualties underscored the urgent need for a renewed national security strategy. 5 intractable security challenges impacted.
Now the APC National Summit with the theme Renewed Hope Agenda, and the journey so far is seeking to renew the President's mandate in 2027 for more economic transformation and infrastructural revolutions.
We are addressing the root cause of insecurity through empowerment. We have advanced legislation and motions addressing unemployment, rural neglect, educational access, and youth engagement.
These are administration harmonized exchange rates, aligning the naira with market forces. This strategy, while triggering short-term inflationary pressures, we are on the right track, and the future is better than ever.
The APC has welcomed thousands of new members, including high-profile opposition figures and grassroots mobilizers. Most recently, we have welcomed to the APC the Executive Governor of Delta State, His Excellency, Your Excellency, this governor is fantastic.
For President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it is a honor to serve Nigeria, and the determination to take the nation far is unflinching, as he justified the removal of fuel subsidy, demands speedy passage of the tax reform bills, and appreciates Nigerians for their patience and trust in the government.
Together, we pledge to confront Nigerian challenges head-on by rebuilding the trust, fostering prosperity, and restoring our nation's economic health. Today, I am proud to affirm that our economic reforms are working. There's nothing good that comes easy. All of you been through life. I only throw a little casual decision to make it easy at the beginning. The subsidy is gone and was gone. It was gone for the good of this country.
3 tiers of endorsement as a symbolic call for more service to the nation and humanity thereafter dominate the atmosphere. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Meanwhile, stakeholders across the 6 states of the North Central Geopolitical Zone on the platform of the governing All Progressives Congress, APC, have asked President Bola Tinubu to recontest for another term of 4 years in view of his monumental achievements within the period of 2 years. Political correspondent Abubakar Akwanga reports that the resolution was reached in a communique drawn at the end of its second APC stakeholders meeting and attended by heavyweights of the party's extraction in the zone.
The All Progressives Congress APC strategic and high-level meeting of OSO in the North Central Zone is beyond just the usual politics, but to a large extent developmentally focused and purpose-driven.
When you see our programs, when you see the performance of this government, why then do you want to continue on the wrong path? That's why they are coming and they will continue to come. Let's not look back at all. Let's continue to move forward.
Now the coast is clear, and stakeholders commended the successful and clinical execution of all promises made under the renewed hope agenda for the zone.
Despite the transition inconveniences at the early stages of the administration, Mr. President's reforms are bearing good fruits and the future looks good. This is a clear indication that we're seeing inflation going down, price of goods are going down.
We have to thank our governors for maintaining the core value of APC, and the core value of SVC is progressive leadership.
In furtherance of this conviction, we wholeheartedly endorse Mr. President to contest a second term in the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, term 2027, in order to consolidate the gains of his reforms and bring to fruition all what we have gained so far.
In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
In other news, President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated the board of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, expressing belief in the quality of the board and management members to turn around the company for optimal efficiency and greater results for the country. The president inaugurated the new board at the State House this Thursday. State House correspondent Musbawu and Wahab tells us more.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, got a new set of leadership about 2 months ago. New impetus, new direction expected to get greater result from the country's petroleum resources manager. The new energy of the new management is being felt in the sector already. But then, here are the board members for their formal inauguration.
It is my honor to now label you as inaugurated. Thank you for accepting.
With the country's economy likely relying on its blessings of oil and gas currently, getting the management of the resources right begins with the choice of credible leaders. The President and Minister of Petroleum Resources recounted the meticulous search leading to the selection of the new leaders of the company. And he believes his picks are equal to the task of delivering a more vibrant and rewarding oil and gas sector.
It's a call to duty to all of you. I believe I have the best that industry can offer to the rest of the world. Today, I believe Nigeria has come of age. Nigeria is becoming more competitive. Nigeria has turned the corner. And with your team, a very highly respected group of people, I'm sure I can relax, I can watch the news now, I can read the news.
The job has been cut out for the leadership with the reforms set in motion under the Renewed Hope agenda, hoping to shore up the crude oil production. The new board and management are clearly aware of this task, and they say the wheel of progress has been set in motion.
Amongst the immediate and urgent priorities that we will be supporting are the initiatives to grow the nation's crude oil production, expand domestic gas utilization, attract our much desired foreign investment into the sector, and lastly, Your Excellency, to lay the foundation for a successful and credible listing of NNPC Limited, just like its peers in the world.
Our hope is to continue to build that production from 1.7 towards 1.9 by the end of the year. That's the current structure that we are building, sir. And we will make sure, Your Excellency, that as executives, through our board, we will promise you, sir, what we truly can deliver. And we will deliver on what we promise, sir.
They've raised brilliant ideas. Now is the time to test them. How can they use those brilliant ideas and transform them to concrete, measurable, volumes to enable Nigeria to meet both our domestic crude oil obligations and also our international, crude oil obligations.
With the ongoing reforms under the present administration, the company is expected not just to energize the nation and its economy, but also make NNPCL a great national asset the country would be proud of. From the State House, Musbal Nanwahab, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Vice President Kashim Shettima has described Nigeria as a prime investment destination following far-reaching economic reforms that have transformed the country's fiscal landscapes and stabilized the currency regime. He said this during a meeting with senior executives from Citibank's global leadership at the presidential villa in Abuja. Let's take a listen to State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila's report.
This meeting is part of measures to encourage investors, assuring both local and foreign investors of government's commitment to securing investment and implementing policies that foster a transparent and enabling business environment. Vice President Kashim Shettima commended the American Bank for its over 4 decades of consistent presence in Nigeria and noted Citibank's important role in supporting the country's economic resilience.
I'm quite pleased to meet you. And on behalf of my principal, I want to thank you most sincerely for your belief in the Nigeria project. Separately, we have been written off. Like the bird phoenix, we have been rising from the ashes of defeat. So we provide the workforce for the future. And we meet the industrial age. We meet the agricultural age. We are now in the knowledge-driven post-industrial age, and we are in a unique position to really take advantage and leapfrog our economy to the AI-driven world of big data, of Internet of Things. And our young people are very versatile.
On fiscal reforms, Vice President Kashim Shettima described the recently passed tax legislation as the most sweeping in the nation's history.
Global companies bring them and do business with them here in Nigeria, and also the Nigerian companies that want to do business in the rest of the world, and we accompany them in that process through facilitating payments, financing, etc., etc.
Mr. Ernesto reaffirmed Citibank's long-term commitment to Nigeria, lauding the government for enacting tough but necessary reforms. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
We'll take a break now. There's more after the break. Don't go away. Thanks for staying with us. President Tinubu has communicated Senate seeking consideration and approval of 1.48 trillion naira budget of 2025 for Rivers State. In the letter read by President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, President Tinubu noted that the request is in line with constitutional provisions as Rivers State is being administered by a sole administrator under the emergency rule. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
Rivers State's 2025 budget was nullified via a Supreme Court ruling and in the absence of a State Assembly due to emergency rule since March 2025, the National Assembly is saddled with the role of oversight and governance of the state. The request by President Tinubu to the Senate is to ensure sustenance of improved livelihoods for citizens.
The spending plan prioritizes investment in critical sectors of the state's education and also agriculture, which is projected to generate approximately 6,000 jobs. The sum of 324 billion is for infrastructure, both ongoing and new projects, while the sum of 166 billion is for the health sector, including 5 billion for free drugs for treatment of malaria and other common ailments.
The request has been referred to the Senate Ad Hoc Committee oversighting Rivers State for further legislative action. In another development, Senate has urged the Inspector General of Police to ensure the appropriate handling of the murder case of one Thomas Zamfara in Hong local government area of Adamawa State after the issue was raised on the matter of privilege by Senator Iya Abbas.
If we didn't take action, there may be a retaliation and there will be communal clash in that community. So I explained and I leave to the Senate leadership to decide or to instruct IGP to take this case now, since there is conflict between the two departments of police that investigated the case, take it to Homicide Department for proper investigation.
Thursday's plenary was concluded with a tribute to late Senator Joseph Akagage, who represented Benue Northeast between 2011 to 2015. A minute silence was observed in honor of the deceased, who died May 19, 2025. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu has equally written to the House of Representatives to consider and approve the Rivers State 2025 budget proposal of 1.48 trillion naira. National Assembly correspondent Mitere Ikpen reports that lawmakers in the Green Chamber have given the budget proposal a thumbs up in the quest to sustain democratic processes in the state during the emergency rule.
The current emergency rule in Rivers State leaves no legislative gap, as the National Assembly is constitutionally empowered to legislate for the suspended State Assembly. This informs the President's communication to the House of Representatives for consideration and approval of 1.8 trillion naira budget proposal for Rivers State in the 2025 fiscal year. The money bill is regarded by lawmakers as a significant step to get developmental projects rolling again in Rivers State.
The spending plan priorities investment in critical sectors of the state, such as infrastructure, health, including free drugs for malaria and other common ailments, education, and also agriculture, which is projected to generate approximately 6,000 jobs.
The president has done the right thing because the administrator must spend only appropriated funds.
For the sole administrator to have a seamless operation, he needs a proper budget.
Following an urgent motion, the security agencies were urged to swiftly address a resurgence of kidnappings and cattle rustling in the northwest.
This ugly situation may be connected with the recent discovery of gold in the zone, which has attracted mining activities, including the presence of foreign nationals and other nefarious activities.
The House received the report of its Committee on Justice on the need to address withheld bar results and the backlog of students awaiting call to bar. At a public hearing by the House Committee on Industry, proposed amendments to the National Sugar Development Council Act were described as crucial towards a robust sugar master plan.
The president's commitment to being able to have, about a $1 trillion economy, sugar has a big role to play.
It is again a testament to his unwavering commitment to the development not only of the sugar sector but of Nigeria's overall industrialization efforts.
The enactment of this legislation would no doubt enhance competitiveness and increasing the sector's contribution to Nigeria's economy.
The amendments to the National Sugar Development Council Act are also expected to clarify the functions of the council. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Now let's bring you up to speed with other news as the Nigerian Television Authority has rekindled its partnership with Nollywood aimed at reviving classic productions, fostering knowledge sharing and crafting new narratives. During a meeting with Nollywood actors at the instance of the Director General of NTA, Saliu Abdulhamid Dembos, it underscored the significance of bridging the generational divide between the old and Gen Z through the lens of timeless Nollywood productions.
Origins of Nollywood as we know it began from the production frameworks that NTA started. So in a long time we have stepped back and things have rapidly unfolded. But now we are saying, you know what, it is time for us to come back and be at the center of everything that this industry can be and should be.
Revisiting timeless classics like Cockrella Dawn, Icheku, Bassi and Company, which left an indelible mark on Nigerian society. This partnership aims to revitalize nostalgic favorites while fostering a dynamic exchange between veteran industry experts and up-and-coming talents. NTA's Director General, Abdulhamid Dembos, noted that the collaboration will also investigate innovative funding models to produce high-quality content that appeals to a broad spectrum of audiences.
Times people will, maybe on the streets, sometimes in the shopping malls and the rest of them will be asking us what happens to some of these classics, things like Ucheku, things like Bassi and Company, Cockrella Dawn, and all what have you. And we keep lamenting, and I said, look, can we for once call those people that can actualize this dream? But with storytellers like you, I believe it is possible that we will now begin to see how we can, have the past and the present in the new stories that we'll be telling.
In response, Nollywood professionals emphasized the opportunity to create impactful and lucrative content with global appeal. They pointed out the advantages of utilizing existing infrastructure like NTA's network to access a vast audience and drive revenue. Additionally, they noted the potential for subscription-based services and tapping into the diaspora market, which boasts significant purchasing power.
We create an ecosystem where I can watch on the go. I'm not just going to put it, so my first watch can be on NTA. 28, 24, 48 hours later, it's going to be on YouTube. That's double money stream.
NTA can really be cool and also satisfy a major deficit in business right now. With Netflix leaving, Amazon leaving. Like if NTA is just made cool and short bites with advertising and things on Instagram and TikTok and this really can be built into a robust thing.
By seamlessly blending the past with the present, the NTA and Nollywood are poised to craft a rich and inclusive narrative landscape that showcases Nigeria's diverse cultural heritage. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
531 youths have been presented with starter packs following their successful participation in the NMPCL Foundation flagship NYSC Business Empowerment Program. Now, the program is noted as vital for sustainable economic growth and social development as it empowers youths to be self-reliant and employers of labor. The Group Chief Executive Officer NMPCE Limited, Bashir Bayo Ojuluri, reiterated that it will proactively develop young entrepreneurs to drive innovation, bring fresh ideas to markets and address social challenges while contributing to community well-being and economic resilience. Lydia Sampson tells us more.
These beneficiaries express readiness to unveil their businesses.
It makes me independent. The fact that it's a starter pack and it comes with solar.
The belief of other students, other corpers out there that yes, when the government or when the NNPC say they want to do something, they will do it.
For NNPC Limited and its subsidiaries, supporting youth empowerment through education, mentorship and access to resources to become productive adults and future leaders is sacrosanct.
So we do collaborations with different entities in society. But this one is particularly exciting for us because it involves young people.
Lesson for any Nigerian youth to see that where there are opportunities, go take on those opportunities, see it through to the end, and you might just be one of those recipients who would have a story and a good idea that we will support.
Assessment came from NYSC, Foundation, Kudimata and Academy, just to make sure it's transparent.
It is a collaborative approach with the NYSC, Corporate Affairs Commission and Kudimata Nigeria Limited to promote inclusive growth and poverty reduction.
So as you have been equipped, you have to equip others. We teach them to form community. You get, and then you empower 4 others.
With these empowerments, we even give them, solar so that they have power supply. They can go out and begin to fend for themselves.
The additional announcement of each beneficiary receiving 531,000 naira in addition to the starter packs got the hall agog. For the beneficiaries, it is time to impact Nigeria and take their businesses to the next level. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The Presidential Initiative on Unlocking the Healthcare Value Chain, PVAC, has reaffirmed its commitment to creating an enabling environment, attracting investors and securing funding for local healthcare businesses across the value chain. Now, this pledge was made during a visit by the PVAC National Coordinator, Dr. Abdul Mukhtar, to MKG Healthcare, a one-stop healthcare delivery hospital in Kano State. MKG is seeking government support for its proposed IV fluid manufacturing company, which aims to bridge the product gap in Nigeria and the West African region.
This is a project that requires great funding, and we don't have the ability to fund the project. And at times, selling or making a proposal to investors is not easy. Up to the level of convincing them to invest in this huge capital intensive project that requires not only a large sum of capital, but it also requires the will from investors that are willing to invest for a long time.
Meanwhile, West African countries are deliberating on common grounds for internet policies, governance, and how the internet can best solve the developmental issues of the region. Chidimba Ndubisi reports that the 17th West Africa Internet Governance Forum taking place in Abuja has as its theme building a resilient, inclusive, and safe digital future for West Africa.
I came here, I wanted to roam, and I'm being charged 1 gig for $8.75. How?
Osei from Ghana, narrating his internet roaming experience, making the internet more affordable, curbing cybercrimes, and ensuring strong, reliable connectivity are key issues on the table as West African countries deliberate at the Internet Governance Forum.
Many people don't even have access to meaningful connectivity. Many people don't even have the skills to even engage. How do we bridge the digital divide?
We want integration, we want inclusivity, we want safe internet.
Whatever we decide as a region here goes to the Africa IGF as a community from West Africa.
The forum is considered a vital platform for shaping the values and infrastructure of digital societies in the region, formulate strategies that will guide West Africa's digital future. Nigeria's Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy reaffirms the country's commitment to fostering a robust and inclusive digital environment across the sub-region.
If you follow, you will see strong leadership from our government around championing subsea cable resilience. We're also working actively through the ITU Advisory Board to ensure that there's a robust subsea cable redundancy protocol for the West African region.
The advocacy here is for stronger collaboration to drive digital transformation in West Africa. In Abuja, Chimdima Ndubisi, NTA News.
Ike Neliaku has emerged as national president of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, for another term of 2 years. Also re-elected is Professor Emmanuel Daura as the vice president. Umo Basi Edet has a report that the election is part of the 62nd annual general meeting of the NIPR in Uyo.
The re-election of Ike Neliaku is coming after the decision of the council's conclave. Ike Neliaku had earlier scaled through the online electoral process with votes from delegates, where he won alongside 16 other council members.
We need to consolidate all the projects we've started. We are going to host the biggest, the brightest, and the boldest World Public Relations Forum in 2026.
Let us support such a leadership to go through the gestation period of the policies, because everywhere in the world, government policies always have gestation period.
Delegates described the event as rewarding.
The level of lectures and the quality of most of the activities is top-notch.
I also have a duty from my little angle to see how I can shape the narrative so that all of us can always project our country.
The AGM was preceded by the induction of associate members into the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations by the national president, Dr. Ike Neliaku. The annual general meeting of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, is the 62nd in the series. In Uyo, Umo Basedate, NTA News.
Time now to join Adiola in our Lagos studio for more news from that axis. Hello, Adiola.
My
studio for more news from that axis. Hello, Adiola.
Air Forum was part of the 61st Nigerian Air Force celebrations, which focused on aerospace advancements and global collaborations. Nigeria's Defense Minister Muhammad Badaru Abubakar emphasized the readiness of President Bola Tinubu's administration to tackling insecurity. Linda Deke reports that air chiefs from across the globe and top government officials converged on Lagos to proffer dynamic approaches to securing the continent.
We do apologize for the loss of sound from Lagos, and now we bring in Benny for trending news in the world of business. Benny, what's happening?
World of business. Now, lawyers in the P&ID Foreign Legal Counsel from Michigan, D'Area LLP, who successfully defended Nigeria in the $11 billion P&ID case, have advised the federal government to strengthen procurement processes and conduct proper due diligence before awarding high-value contracts. Speaking at the send forth for Kofo Salam Alada, outgoing Director of Legal Services at the Central Bank of Nigeria, partner Shashta Akhtar highlighted that despite Nigeria's robust anti-corruption laws, the original P&ID deal lacked due diligence and involved bribed officials and an unqualified shell company.
Sets a powerful deterrent against other fraudsters who may be trying to take advantage of the government and exploit its resources. COFO was delegated the day-to-day responsibility of dealing with the lawyers, and he played an essential role in terms of giving instructions, obtaining information, and ensuring that we as the lawyers had the tools that we needed to pursue this case.
Now, the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, is stepping up efforts to position Nigerian products for global markets. In Abuja, the agency has launched a flagship capacity building program focused on packaging and branding under the African Continental Free Trade Area, the AFTA. In a bid to boost Nigeria's presence in the continental market, SMEDAN's Special Duties Department is training 50 carefully selected enterprises in Abuja on how to upgrade their packaging, branding, and hygiene standards to meet global export requirements. The goal is clear: transform good products into great brands that are competitive, safe, and export-ready.
And we do know that our SMEs have the capacity to do it. So that is why SMEDAN came up with this, so that our SMEs can have the skills and they can be able to access the AFTA market.
Whether we like it or not, AFTA has come to stay. And our entrepreneurs need to take advantage of the AFTA.
I've learned a lot in this training I attended here, because it taught us a lot about branding and packaging. So it's not just about the brand at the front, but also what you write at the back.
Now, still talking business, looking at the markets. On Thursday, the equities market continued its bearish trend. Following previous sessions last week, the all-share index down by 40 basis points to close at 109,183.2 basis points, down from 109,619.12 basis points on Wednesday, as investors lost 274.7 billion naira, with market capitalization down to 68.62 trillion naira on sell-offs in the Dangote sugar, among others. Well, this is it on business. It's time to take another break.
And Sport Update is next.
Thank you, Jomai. Hello and welcome to Sports Update. Goodluck Emmanuel has once again brought pride to the Federal Capital Territory by earning a silver medal in Wushu Kung Fu in a game played at Ikene Remo in Abuja. His outstanding performance has contributed to FCT's increasing medal count and highlighted his commitment and talent in the sports. His recent accomplishment further solidifies Emmanuel's status as one of the leading martial arts representing the capital. Overall, FCT has attained a total of 7 medals, which includes 2 silver and 5 bronze medals. Similarly, Bayelsa State has maintained its early lead at the top of the medals table. After Day 4 of the Gateway Games, Bayelsa holds firmly with 30 gold medals, 12 silver and 11 bronze. defending champions Delta State made a significant jump from day 3 to secure second place with 20 gold, 8 silver and 25 bronze medals, while Rivers State ranked third with 11 gold, 9 silver and 8 bronze. Oyo is in fourth with 9 gold, 7 silver and 13 bronze medals, and Osun State rounds out the top 5 with 8 gold, 1 silver and 1 bronze. In another development, the 2025 Chief of Naval Staff Under 14 Boys competition reaches an exciting conclusion as the semi-finals takes place in Kaduna on Friday. Host Kaduna will compete against Kwara after defeating Kogi 2-0 in the quarterfinals, while Enugu will face Bayelsa after a 1-0 win over Kebbi, securing their spots in the finals. Meanwhile, the Naval Officers' Wives Association NOAA Under-17 Girls Football Championships continued with high energy on Thursday evening, featuring a competitive semi-final match where Ondo triumphed over Plateau 2-1 and Enugu won 1-0 against Kaduna. Ondo has automatically qualified for the finals and will take on Kaduna. The CNS and NOAA Cup promotes youth development, discipline and national unity through sports. But as a sizable package, it's back to Jumai.
Thank you, Francesca. And now to the outcome of today's survey. We asked you, what do you think of the proposal by the House of Representatives for compulsory voting in general elections? 70.3% of you said you oppose the bill, that voting should remain a personal choice, not a legal obligation. 24.2% say you strongly support it as it will strengthen democracy. 3.3% are of the opinion that it should be compulsory for certain people, while 2% are undecided, saying they need more time and information to decide. The poll remains open on our X handle at NTA News Now, so you keep voting. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has condoled the Sawyer and Amore families on the passing of their beloved matriarch, Fayemi Adebisi Sawyer. The president describes Mrs. Sawyer as a consummate health professional whose life was defined by service, love and grace. President Tinubu praises her for her life-saving work as a professional nurse and midwife and for dedicating decades to the health and well-being of others in Nigeria and abroad. President Tinubu prays God Almighty to grant the soul of the departed eternal rest and comfort all who mourn her passing. That's NTA Network News. Thanks so much for your time. I am Jumai Yosef.